Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Loving Kindness meditation here at the Dharma Bum Temple North. My name is Alex. Wonderful to be here with you today. I say Dharma Bum Temple North because this is my place of residence here up in Encinitas. I love engagement. So if there's anyone here who is new, your first time, or even your second time to the Dharma Bum Temple online class, or first time to my class, just say hello and let me know where you're from. That would be wonderful, just so I can say hi. If this is not your first time, say hello. I would love to hear from you, just to know that you're out there. And whether you've been here before, whether you haven't been here before, this is the Dharma Bum Temple, and we are this wonderful organization that was started at the beginning of 2007 to bring Buddhist practice to Westerners. A lot of places where you went to practice and understand Buddhism, you practice and understand Buddhism, by people who were maybe didn't understand the how we Westerners are, because we are a different bunch. Let me tell you, we are definitely a different bunch. And what we really wanted to do is to kind of tailor it to Westerners, to say, hey, we see you and we understand you, and we're going to try to help you understand, Buddhist practice through a lens that you might understand more. So this is what we did, and I love doing this. I've been teaching here since 2008, and I remember when I first started, like before the very first class, I wrote out my instructions, my meditation instructions, and I practiced remembering them. And I practiced and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. And, I remember the first time I was so nervous because I wanted to get it right. So I thought if I didn't get it absolutely right, then I was bad. I was a bad, I would really kind of come down hard on myself. But it was really pretty hilarious to think about as a meditation teacher who's been around for a little bit of time. And now I just love doing this, and I love doing this, and I do it a little bit differently every time. Excuse me. And I like being here with you. I love interacting with you. So hello, Jennifer. It's good to see you too. Hi, Jeremy. Good to see you as well. And Jean, it's the Jays. All right. Hi. Hi, Jean. Wonderful to be here with you as well. And Marisa, hello. How are you? Thank you for spreading all the love online. I appreciate that. I stalk you on Facebook, Marisa, just so you know. What else do I want to say? So let's see, about eight people here. That's wonderful. If there are anybody hi, Tamara. Hello, I know you're out there. So if there's anybody here who's new, who just is a little bit too shy to say hello, just to let you know how things, not my first stalker, nice. Just to let you know how things go. We're going to have this short introduction, and then we're going to have our loving kindness meditation. When we talk about loving kindness in Buddhism, we're really talking about this word metta. And metta is this wonderfully rich word that comes from the Pali language. And Pali is a language which is what we think the historical Buddha spoke, or something very, very close to it. And when an ancient word is, translated 2,500 years into English, especially a rich word like Pali, it could mean lots of different things. And so it could mean loving kindness, it can be unconditional friendliness and goodwill. And it's simply a wish to be happy. And not only a wish to be happy, but a wish for us and a wish for others to do the things that cause happiness. And so what causes happiness? I'm sure you're probably asking yourselves. Well, our positive thoughts, words, actions, those things cause happiness. So the motto of the Dharma Bum Temple is think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. Again, that's think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. And all of those things, if you do all of those things, those are creators of happiness, right? And so we try to kind of describe how to do that in the loving kindness meditation. And so, we're going to do this. I'm going to guide it. Uh, let's see. We have a new person, Stacy. Hello, Stacy. Nice. Wonderful to have you here. A first timer, our first timer in just a little bit of time. I love that. Oh, that makes me feel so better. We have a new person here. Thank you, Stacy. All right. Um, not that the not new people aren't wonderful. You are absolutely wonderful. Um, all right. So this is kind of what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to, get you to have this feeling of loving kindness in your own heart, so that doing loving kindness for others it's so easy, it's so natural, it's not even an effort. If you have that own experience in your own heart, right? So we really focus on loving kindness for oneself, for yourself, and so that's kind of how we structure this meditation. And so that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to guide it, and it's going to be a nice, easy meditation. And let's do this, all right? All right. And so just allow your eyes to close. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourself sitting underneath the Bodhi tree of enlightenment, ready for the days abiding on Metta, this wonderful practice of loving kindness and unconditional friendliness and goodwill. Not having a care in the world, whatever cares or worries you have, you can let those go for now as best you can. And just connect to the breath. So maybe taking a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Not forcing the breath, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural for now. Developing this attitude of no struggle. So we don't want to struggle with our seat. We don't want to struggle with our breath. We don't want to struggle with our thoughts. If you have a thought that arises, you can gently let that go in the spirit of metta and just come back to the breath. So as gently as you can, just rest in the sensations of the breath. And so to begin our practice of loving kindness after we have this gentle connection with the breath, we're going to start with our benefactor. And for those of you who are new, a benefactor is anyone who has shown you great love or great kindness. Someone it's really easy to have these feelings for. You just think of this person and your heart gets bigger and warmer. And you can either repeat phrases of loving kindness for this person, imagining them in your mind's eye, and just saying to yourself, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. Or if you don't want to repeat phrases, you can just radiate loving kindness to them in however you understand that word. I like to imagine a beam of loving kindness going from my heart to my benefactor. And it's a nice, warm, like yellow color, or sometimes blue, or even sometimes red or purple. There's a nice vibration to it. That's how I connect with my benefactor. But you can do however you understand that word radiate. You can choose one or more benefactors. It's up to you. So just for the next few moments, let's do this practice for our benefactor. And so shifting our focus from doing this practice for our benefactor to now we can imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And we can imagine our benefactor either saying these same phrases for us, these same phrases of loving kindness that we talked about earlier, or you simply can imagine them radiating loving kindness to you in the same way that you did it for them. And so your only job here is to receive all of this loving kindness from your benefactor or benefactors with no resistance. This is why it's really good sometimes to put your hand over your heart when you do this part of the practice. Listening, feeling for any resistance, any place in the heart that says, no, I can't accept this. You can keep your hand over your heart. Maybe even taking a deep breath, allowing as much of that loving kindness for your benefactor into your own heart. Maybe even smiling when you do so. Feeling their love for you. They're your benefactor for a reason. And so we'll do this part of the practice for the next few moments, imagining our benefactor radiating loving kindness to us. Letting as much of that loving kindness into your heart as you can. Continue this practice, imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. And now, probably the most important part of this practice, as we really try to understand what this loving kindness feels in our own heart, the real experiential part here is doing this practice for ourselves. And so before we start, we just want to call to mind our own wish to be happy, our own wish to be safe, free from danger, healthy. And we can start either saying these one of these phrases or all of these phrases of loving kindness for ourselves, or even just imagining your heart get bigger and radiating this loving kindness from the inside, feeling your heart get bigger, warmer, oh, while wishing loving kindness for yourself. However you want to do it is perfectly fine. If you don't really know, I suggest you just experiment. Try one thing, and if that one thing isn't working, try the other thing. So for the next few moments, we'll focus on this practice of loving kindness for ourselves. And don't forget to smile. And finally, we can explore this limitless quality of the heart by doing this practice for all beings in all directions, whatever beings there may be, whomever, wherever they are. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at ease. And just go as far out as you can. And we'll do this to end our meditation. So just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next couple of moments out as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. Keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. And then we will begin. This is a wonderful time also to ask questions, to give me your feedback on this experience of meditation, what this experience of meditation was like for you. There are no wrong experiences. Your experience is just your experience. So I would love to hear your feedback on that. And, it just helps me engage with you more. You know how much I love that. All right, let's give it like 30 seconds. Oh, okay, Jay, thank you. Rejuvenating. Yeah, me too. And this is like the second or third time that I've done this. Third time that I've done it here in my home, and rather than in the temple. And I like doing it in the temple. It's wonderful. But one of the things that I've noticed for myself, when I do it here, especially now since it's like the third time I've done it, I feel there's a sense of relaxation, a sense of familiarity here, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that a lot, and I felt it a lot during this meditation. All right, Doug, as someone new to meditation, it was hard to sit still for so long, right? Oh my God, let me tell you, I totally understand. The first time I ever tried to sit in meditation, and now this was by myself, not in a group, um, I was listening to a CD. It was Jack Kornfield's CD. It's called Buddhism for Beginners. I think that was it. It was just one CD, and the first meditation, he guided it. It was 8.5 minutes. He guided it the entire time, except for like about a 20-second, 25-second period where he was just completely silent. So he was completely silent. I was completely silent. And that was the first time I had ever really sat in silence in my life at 37 years old at the time. So that 25 seconds might as well have been like 25 days. It was agonizing for me. And I've never sat still for that long. My mind had never been still for that long. And it's like anything. It's like anything. Over time, you absolutely get used to it. If you're doing this practice by yourself at home, do it for a short period of time. Let's say 5 or 10 minutes. Let's try 10 minutes. And you can even have some musical accompaniment, like something nice and soft and soothing if you want, or not. It's up to you. And do that for 3 months. And then after 3 months, and I say 3 months because there's no hurry in this practice. So after 3 months, instead of 10 minutes, do 15 minutes. And then when you get used to that, after 3 more months, do 20 minutes. And so this is how we kind of build our meditation muscle, right? And so that's how I did it. It was um, told to me or suggested that I do it, and so I did it that way. It really worked. And what was really helpful for me was that there's no hurry. You don't get any medals or any trophies for doing it quicker or anything like that. This is a practice. This is a lifetime practice, so you have plenty of time. So that's a good way to start. But yeah, if we sat for 27 minutes, and if you're not used to sitting for that long, that's a really, really long time. So good job, Doug. Welcome. So Stacy says, it felt really nice offering loving kindness to others. I had a difficult time giving loving kindness to myself, right? And Stacy, you said this is your first time here, and probably everybody who uh, has been here for a while has heard me say this. Probably, what I'm going to say like a million times. And yes, I totally understand. This is really hard, and this is because of how we're conditioned. In this culture, in this American culture, we're conditioned in a particular way, and it's not a loving and kind way. We're not taught to treat ourselves with this kind of loving and kind attitude. It's always very judgmental and very harsh, and very, very black and white. If you're not perfect, then you're terrible. That kind of a thing. And so, again, it's like what I told Doug. It's a loving kindness meditation muscle. It's uncomfortable at first, but the benefits are incredible. If you can feel that loving kindness for yourself, if you could really understand how much you harm yourself by this negative thinking and these kind of self-defeating thoughts that we all have, all of us have. It is completely normal to have it be difficult to do loving kindness for yourself. Completely normal. We've all had to deal with this, and like anything else, over time it gets so much easier. So much easier. It gets better, as they say, a lot better. So keep doing it. Keep doing it. I promise it'll be amazing. And Doug, I'm glad that was really helpful for you. That was wonderful. Um, um, the thing I think that's helpful to understand about this practice is everything you do, all of these practices can be seen as practices of loving kindness. When we take the precepts are practices of loving kindness, especially if our intention is there, right? Everything, intention is so important in this practice. And if you take a look at the precepts, these are precepts of non-harming. And these precepts of not harming anybody is an act of loving kindness. We're asking you to have loving kindness be the verb of your life. And I heard that phrase, the verb of your life, years ago, and it's always stuck with me. And so I always like to say it. I didn't make it up. And that's what these precepts are, and that's what this practice is. When you think about the first precept that we take, and this precept of not harming, I undertake the training precept to not harm living beings or to not kill living beings. And so whenever you go out of your way to not step on a bug, or you go out of your way, you do something intentional to not harm somebody or something, that is an act of loving kindness. When you go out, when you intentionally don't say something negative to yourself or to another person, that is an act of loving kindness. When you intentionally don't take something that's not yours, that is an act of loving kindness. When you intentionally don't harm somebody with your sexuality, that is an act of loving kindness. And when you intentionally don't indulge in intoxicants, like just get drunk off your gourd, which is I used to do a lot, that is an act of loving kindness to yourself. And they should be looked at as such, because what we're really trying to do is understand what loving kindness feels like in our own heart. Because if you understood really what loving kindness feels in your own heart, you would never have any of these self-defeating thoughts again. And if you did, you would quash them immediately. You would never harm another human being because you would want them to have what you have. And so you would never You would never, engage in any kind of this unhelpful, unskillful behavior ever. You would never want that for another human being ever. And that's why doing loving kindness for yourself, this part of the practice, is absolutely the most important, especially for Westerners. Like I said, traditionally, the traditional way to do this practice is to do it for yourself first, because we're closest to our own heart. And then we slowly go outward to a loved one, to a neutral person, to the enemy, to all beings. And this works perfectly fine in a traditional Buddhist country where you're taught respect and you're taught loving kindness and you're taught all these ways of practicing metta from a very young age. And people are taught this before they're even taught to meditate. But we're not taught that way in the West. And we usually come to Buddhism at, I was 37. No, I was 40. I wasn't even 37. I was 40. 40 years old with 40 years of conditioning of the exact opposite of Buddhism. And so it was tough. It was tough. And I still, it's even like 14 years later. And so it's still difficult, but a lot less difficult. So don't think that you're gonna kind of get this right away, or you have to achieve something right away. You don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to reach a particular or have a particular spiritual experience. The Buddha kind of frowned on those, or he didn't frown on those. He frowned on making a big deal out of those, I should say. Because over time, over your life of meditating, you're going to have lots of things. Right? And it's just part of the path. It's just part of the path. Just keep on doing the practice as much as you can. I'm a member of this other group. It's a closed group, and I mentioned this before. And there are people there who, it's a spiritual group, and there are people there and they meditate, but it's not Buddhism. And there are people there who get hyper focused on one particular meditation experience. Like, oh, I had this meditation experience. What does this mean? I had this dream. What does this mean? Well, first of all, as the person sitting here, and if someone would ask me this question, I would always say, I have no idea what that means. Because these experiences have to do with you and the life that you've lived for however long you've been alive. And I don't have any insight into any of that. So I have no idea what these things mean. All right. Where was I? Oh, yes, that's right. So, I talked about making this practice of loving kindness the verb of your life. And so what I'm asking you to do is just to try. I know you're going to screw up. I screw up every day. It's all right. I keep trying. You're going to screw up every day. That's okay. Keep trying. Just keep at it. This is a cumulative practice. That's why it's good to meditate every day. That's why it's good to practice, because you're not just practicing in meditation, right? You're practicing your whole life. You're practicing while you're doing Zoom meetings, and you're practicing while you're doing yoga, and you're practicing, while you're going grocery shopping. Your life is one big practice. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, really, for today. And that's just to make this practice, integrate this practice as much as you can into your daily life. All right. So other people must have some questions, something I can help you with, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You know how much I love engagement. Thank you, Doug. And there's these people like Jay and Doug and Alex Wonderful to see you. Thank you. I've never seen before, so welcome all of you. Even maybe I don't know if you're new or not new, but or to this class, but welcome. It's wonderful to see all of you. It makes my heart warm to see new people. And so Doug asks, would you recommend writing things down if they come up in our head or simply letting them go? That's a really good question. And while meditating, yes, I understand. While meditating, uh, you know, while you're meditating, let them go. Absolutely. That is part of the practice. And the reason I kind of hesitated there a little bit is because I thought about um, some of the questions that I get sometimes. And so to your point specifically, Doug, yes, just let them go. Let them go. That's the time to try to answer those. Those are the content kind of questions that don't really mean anything for meditating. Um, a lot of people have questions, and uh, they really want to, and they want to meditate on a question. I want to meditate on what should I do about this situation or this person or something like that. And to that, I always say, no, don't do that. If you really want to know an answer to the question, you have to understand that you probably already know the answer to this question, and the mind is too clouded to really for you to see right now. And this is where meditating can help. And so you can ask yourself that question at the beginning of meditation, and then just do the meditation and don't even think about it. Don't think about it. Don't entertain it. If that thought comes up, let it go. Let all these thoughts go. And then after the meditation, after a certain period, after meditating, you wait just for a minute as you just kind of stretch and do your thing, and then answer the question, ask the question. And hopefully, the idea is your head will be clearer. And now you've already had the answer, but now perhaps you can see the answer. Because that's what I was kind of thinking about a little bit when you first asked that question. But generally, when thoughts come up in meditation, let them go. Absolutely let them go. Yes, thank you, Stacy. I like the statement, let loving kindness be the verb of your life. Yes. I really wish I would have made that up, but I didn't. But I heard it and I loved it, and so I say that a lot now. Like, what is the verb of my life? How do I want to be in life? In every action, in every thought, in every in in every word that I utter, what do I want the verb of my life to be? And you can actually reverse that. You can say, what do I want? What would I like to receive? My guess is it's going to be the same thing, right? Let's hope so. This. I didn't put my little tapestry thing up, and because it fell down last time, as you remember, it just kind of fell down because I didn't secure it right. But that's okay. Next time, thumbtacks. It's all right. because I like it out there. It's kind of plain behind me now. I'm not sure how much I like that. All right. So any questions, any comments, anything before we end for tonight? I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your questions. Say hi. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's all good. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Well, thank you to all the new people who showed up. Thank you to the old people who showed up. Thank you to everybody who showed up. I love doing this, and I love having you here with me. And it's a great joy of my life, and I want to thank you for the joy that you've brought to me just by showing up to this class today. It's wonderful. It's been wonderful to have you here. I love doing this. This is the Dharma Bum Temple, and we're just a small temple dedicated to Buddhist practice, and we love doing what we do. We do it all for free. No one has ever got paid. I have never got paid once, and that's okay. And because we think the Dharma should be free. So thank you all. Let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. And really quickly, before we do that, to answer Doug's questions, how often are these classes? These classes are on our website, thedharmabums.org. We have them pretty much almost every day in some form or another. And so I invite you to check out our website. May the benefits of this meditation, this discussion be received by all beings. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. I love you all. Bye now.